So we're up to the final operation on our cylinder heads, which is to reassemble.
Hi and welcome to Classic ATS. During this 8-part series we're going to show you how to fully build your 911 air-cooled cylinder head.
So what I have my cylinder heads are all washed and cleaned. I have our valve shims that we took out when we disassembled the cylinder heads. I have 2 valve stem seals for each head, and I have another pile right here. And then I have our new valves that we're going to be installing. Lastly, I have a spring height tool. This is a Porsche special tool. It's available from a lot of different locations, and we're going to use this to set our installed valve spring height. So the first thing I've done is I've pulled the specifications for this head. They are different specifications for whether it's 911T, 911E, or 911S. So you always want to confirm what the number is going to be on the head that you're working on before you start. First, I'm just going to take a valve, doesn't matter which one. I'm using the exhaust valve. On this particular cylinder head, the installed height is the same for both intake and exhaust. On other heads, it's different on the intake and the exhaust, also why it's important to check what the specification is. Normally, what I will do is I will start with approximately 3 shims. First, that's I find is a good starting point, and I'll just slide them over the valve guide until they contact the cylinder head. Next, I'm going to take a cleaned valve spring seat, and I want to make sure the seat is all the way down against the shims. If it's cocked in the bore, then it'll give you a false reading. Next, we're going to take our special tool. We're going to install it on the valve, and then take the retainer that we would use with the valve spring. And I'm just going to compress this. This just acts as if it's a mini valve spring. And so I'm going to install both of the collets and let it come up. Usually what I'll do is I'll just let it spring a couple of times to make sure it's seated. So I have the special tool installed on the valve, and it has a series of lines scribed on it. Now this particular one, the bottom line is 34.5 millimeters. The next line over here, 35.5. I actually have a scribed line at 36 millimeters because that is our installed height. So what I'm looking at, or what I'm seeing right here, is this one is reading at 35 millimeters is our current installed height, and I need to be at 36 millimeters. So the shims that we installed are 0.5 of a millimeter shims. So what I need to do is actually remove 2 of the shims and recheck the dimensions again. So I've gone ahead and removed the tool, taken out 2 shims, and now if we take a look at our line, you can see we're lining up right with that 36 millimeter mark. So I've just gone ahead and removed the spring height tool. Next thing that I want to do is I've got my bottom spring seat in. I need to install the valve stem seal. Now to install the valve stem seals, first thing I usually like to do is use a little bit of lubricating oil on just the portion where it's going to contact the guide. Then these you can push on just using your thumb and forefinger. So you line it up with the guide, and I just want to push it down until it stops. And then you can just make sure that it's square to the guide. If it's cocked over to one side or leaning, then just make sure it's squared up. So now I'm going to install the valve. So I have my valve. This is the one place where I like to use a much thicker assembly lube, only because the lubrication that the valve gets is the only lubrication it will usually see in service. So I'm just going to load that up with a thicker assembly lube. Some people will use a light grease. I found that this one works fairly nice. The other thing I want to do before I install it is just take some of that lube, put it on the top of the valve stem seal. This is so the valve stem seal is not dry when the valve starts moving in the engine. I'm just going to roll the cylinder head over and install it. Typically I'll like to kind of pump it through. Now when I bring the valve through the valve stem seal, I want to come through carefully so that I don't get hung up in the collet grooves or tear that valve stem seal. So I want to come in nice and slowly and make sure that it goes through without damaging the valve stem seal. So next I'm going to go ahead and install our valve springs. Now you want to take a look at your valve springs, as there is a correct way to install them. If we look closely at the valve springs, we can see at the top of the springs the gap between the coils is large. The spring gaps at the bottom of the spring get smaller and smaller. The smaller gaps need to face the cylinder head. They are the bottom of the spring. So we're just going to go ahead, slide the outer spring on. The inner spring does not matter which direction it goes. It is not a progressive spring. It has the same gap on each coil. So we can just go ahead and drop that in. Next, I'm going to take my retainer, sit that on top of the valve spring, and then I'm going to use our valve spring compressor to compress the spring assembly. So with the spring compressed, I'm just going to take my two collets, making sure we drop them in the correct way so the taper faces down. And release the valve spring compressor. The last thing that I want to do is I just want to seat everything together. So I'm just going to use my small ball peen hammer, and all I'm going to do is I just want to tap it a couple of times on the back of the valve. What that's going to do, it's going to lock the collet and the retainer together, and it's also going to help seat the valve against the valve seat area. So now I've got the exhaust side in, I'm going to do the same with the intake. So I'm going to take my intake valve. When you're measuring the valve seat height, there's no need to lubricate the stem at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead, slide it in, and on this one I'm just going to start with 2. Then I'm going to drop in the valve spring seat. You can see this one is a little bit tight going in. That's because the pocket area here is tight, so you really want to make sure that that is seated all the way down. And then I'm just going to repeat it again. Put the tool on. Install the collets, and we want to measure off where we're at. This one with 2 shims has actually landed right on 36 millimeters, so we are ready to install the valve stem seal. So I'm just going to go ahead, pop my collets out, pull the tool out, and I'm just going to remove the valve to install the seal. So I've got my seal. I'm going to just lubricate it, and I'm just lubricating this with an engine oil or an ATF oil. Line up on the guide, push it all the way down so that it seats. Then again, taking my valve, and I'm going to apply my thicker engine lubrication or pre-assembly lube. And then I want to make sure that I get some lubrication in the top of that stem seal. Okay, when I come in, what I'll usually like to do is just move the valve in and out to make sure that lubrication gets spread evenly over the guide. And then I'm carefully bringing it through, making sure not to damage the valve stem seal on the collet retaining rings. Again, I'm going to pay attention to my spring orientation. I want to make sure that I get the close coils on the valve spring outer facing down. I've already put the inner on, doesn't matter which way the inner goes on. I'm going to take my retainer and then using my spring compressor, compress the spring. Once the springs are installed, take my small ball peen, couple of light taps just to seat the collets and to seat the valve, and we are all set. This head is now done. We've got to repeat it with the other 5 cylinder heads, and then the heads will be ready to install.